Someone asked, what are your thoughts on the saying, real friends should never be jealous of you? Well, it's so complicated because I think jealousy is a normal human emotion, and I think every person is capable and will feel all of the emotion, maybe not all. I'm going to retract. Some people are not capable of feeling certain emotions. Some people can experience a wide range of emotions. And just because you feel jealousy does not mean that you are a bad friend or a bad person. However, I think that a healthy friendship consists of people who are emotionally mature adults or young people, whatever, who can cope with their feelings and not make decisions based off of them. So I could feel jealous perhaps that a friend of mine is experiencing something that I want, envious. Maybe I feel envious. But because I'm able to work through that, it lasts like half a second and then it's gone. So I think that in a healthy, emotionally mature friendship, feelings can come and go and they don't impact behavior. Though I will say, in my closest of friendships, I have felt such joy when they've experienced joy. Like I feel their wins as if they're my own. So jealousy and envy, like maybe there's oh my gosh, I want that, but it's not a negative version of that, right? There's such a difference between, oh my God, I want that, and wow, I want that. Like, I don't know how to be happy for them. And I'm not sure if it's that, I don't know if that's a testament to the fact that our friendships are real, quote, or if it's a testament to how good I've gotten or how hard I'm working, I've been working at my own internal mishigas with some of these topics, if that makes sense. Because like the reality is that we are all complicated human beings, and I believe that complicated human beings are able to be in happy, healthy relationships. It's just how willing are you to deal with hard emotions yourself and work on them? And yeah. Someone asked, what do you do when you see your friend group all hanging out without you? I think the first thing I would try to do is think about the context. Like, is there some context to this that could make it make sense? That's part of thinking about it. What's the least personal way to interpret this? Which is a question I like to ask myself. You've heard me say that on the podcast a million times. Like, is there context that would make this make sense? For example, are you in a friend group of 5 people, including yourself, and maybe the other 4 are all on swim team together, and you notice that they're like at a pool? I don't know. Or maybe it's after swim practice and they're all like at ice cream. Maybe it was just after swim practice. I don't know why my brain is immediately going to like high school. Like, is there some context that would make this make sense and make it not personal? But if there wasn't, this is part of why I think friend groups are so hard. Because yes, you're allowed to hang out with, oops, sorry, coffee. Yes, you're allowed to hang out without everybody in the group. But at the end of the day, if one person is excluded, that is not nice. That is not nice or kind behavior. I think there's a responsibility of being in a friend group to be inclusive and to be thoughtful. Again, that doesn't always mean that everybody's included, but it probably means that if there's only one person who's not there, it probably means they should be there. If there's not some greater context that really makes sense. If you are one person in a friend group and you feel like they're all hanging out without you and you're not included, I would probably stop hanging out with that friend group. Maybe I would try to, if there were people in the group that I had close one-on-one relationships with, maybe I would try to just invest in that. Or I would probably start trying to find a different friend group, mostly because if I don't like the way that makes me feel, if something doesn't feel right, I would honor that feeling within me and try to surround myself with people who do make me feel good. Now, that does require some self-awareness, because I don't think that some of it is on you to reflect and think, well, am I just demanding that I'm invited everywhere, even where it doesn't make sense? And if you don't have any self-awareness, or you can't think about this with some emotional distance, then maybe you're part of the problem. But if repeatedly you're like, they all hang out without me and they don't invite me, then they might be doing that intentionally. And it might be time for you to stop wishing that you were there, you know? Easier said than done, but I think that that's the hard truth. Do girlfriend groups fight like sisters? My best friend puts up with drama in her group and I don't get it. Oh, how interesting. It's interesting because there's sort of an inherent assumption that like it's okay to fight as sisters. But let's remember that some sisters are toxic and don't get along and cause each other tons of stress and trauma. And, like, just because you're sisters doesn't mean it's okay to fight and be cruel and not repair. I do think that close sisters or close sisters, healthy sisters, are able to fight and repair in a very special way. Like I think about my sister and I, and we rarely fight, but we do sometimes fight. I think because we're family members, we both have a unique way of triggering each other sometimes. And I think one thing that we're really good at is repairing. I would be really uncomfortable, though, if I fought with anybody else in my life in the way that I fought with my sister. And I do repair with lots of people in my life, but like the fight is never quite as, I don't know. There's a type of fight that happens in a family that I probably would not want with a friend. And that isn't saying anything bad about, the type of fights that I get in with my sister, but like there's a certain intimacy, I guess. And maybe it's like the things that are triggering to us are so deeply related to like who we are, and what we've been through together and all that, that I don't think I could be friends with someone who triggered me in the same way. But do some girlfriend groups, do some friends fight and repair in the loving way that sisters do? Like maybe part of the question there is that with some sisters, there is a sense of unconditional love. Like no matter how shitty it gets in the moment with us, no matter what we say, no matter how painful it might feel while we're fighting, like we will fix it because we are ride or die, And do some friends have that with each other? I think maybe. Though I think it's much rarer to exist in a large group context. I think that it might. I'm not sure that I've seen it. I'm not sure that I've seen in a large group true sister. I don't know, but just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You said that she puts up with drama, though, in her group. The fact that it's even being labeled as drama, that to me makes it feel like not healthy, good sister energy. It's just, you're like using the phrase, we're like sisters, we fight like sisters as an excuse. That's just my 2 cents on it. But you guys let me know. Do you fight like sisters with any of your friend groups and it feels healthy? You tell me. Next question. There's like at least more than 10 questions in here that say, do trios work? White Lotus, someone wrote as an example, the White Lotus friendship, which I think was one of the most toxic friendships that I've ever seen on TV. I made a video about that, how I thought that the ending of White Lotus was so fucking like, I honestly couldn't even deal with it because I don't like the way it framed that friendship as normal. I don't like it the way it framed that friendship as inevitable, like an inevitable sign of being, no. This is what it's going to be like if you stay friends with your high school girls until middle age. It's bound to be like this. No, that's a choice. Do trios work? It's so funny because I think that there's a difference between being like, I'm in a trio versus I have 2 other friends and we all are also friends. I think trios can work. I think trios work when the individual people are confident, secure in themselves and in their individual friendships. A trio works when each individual person is aware of their own, is aware of their jealousy, is aware of competitiveness, like is aware of all of those things, and overall is secure in themselves. I think trios go wrong when one or more people are deeply insecure, are using these relationships to try to make themselves feel better about themselves. And all of us, none of us are immune to human emotions. All of us feel things like jealousy, inadequacy, etc. But a secure person does not make decisions based on those feelings. They don't act out based on those feelings. They know how to work through them. They have support in place to work through them. I don't think a trio can work if the people involved are not doing that. So trios can work, but it's less about the trio, more about the individuals in the trio.